So today I have made up this model of a camshaft or a cam and a valve arrangement, and we're going to look at the clearance between the valve stem and the cam. And okay, so when I turn the cam, you can see that it gets around to this point before it actually makes contact with the valve stem. So I'm just going to mark that there. That's how far the camshaft has travelled. Okay, so now I'm going to reposition the cam, and I'm going to make the gap between the valve stem and the cam bigger. I'm going to move this valve down. So this is replicating if we had two bigger valve clearance, made our clearance too large. Okay, so I'm going to now turn the cam again, and you'll notice now that it's got to move further before it actually makes contact with the valve stem. So just mark it there. So that means that the valve won't start opening until we get to this point here. So it will open late, or open later in comparison to the smaller gap. And because it opens late, it will close early. So I'm just going to move the camshaft around. I won't move the valve down this time, but hopefully you realise that it would have opened the valve, and now the valve spring is closing the valve and pushing it up against the camshaft. So it would start closing at this point here with the larger gap. Let's just move the camshaft away, and I'm going to reduce the gap back to what it was before. So there we go, with a smaller gap, and I'll turn the camshaft around again. I won't go through the motions of completely opening the valve, let's skip over that. But hopefully you can see it's going to get to that point there before it starts to actually close. Okay, so the first mark here was with a large clearance, so you can see it will close early. And the second mark is with a small clearance.